Hello everyone, welcome back to Easy Chemistry by Vanilla. In previous video, 18th question, here brown ring test, iron oxidation number is 1, not 2. I think it is printing mistake, I forgot in earlier. Please correct it once. Next, today's question. Identify the correct statement from among the following. Dicobalt octacarbonyl form two isomers which involves CO-CO metal bonding. This is correct statement because it forms two isomers, like one is bridged, another one is unbridged. So this is the correct option. Why other options are incorrect? Iridium, two isomers which involve metal ligand bridge. No, this is incorrect. Rhodium cobalt complexes do not form isomers. However, iridium forms. Not correct. The blue color cobalt complex form for test for water is trans isomer of the octahedral complex. Blue cobalt used in the water test is associated with tetrahedral, while hydrated cobalt complex octahedral. So here they given the trans. No, the coordination geometry is different. That is why this is also incorrect. Correct one is the first one. Next question. The following data is for sample C, the sample state. Using this data, select the correct option for below. They given the material, tensile strength, ductility for iron, steel, titanium. Titanium can easily fracture under stress as compared to steel. No, this is incorrect. Why? Because titanium is high tensile strength. High tensile strength. Next, steel and titanium will be able to bear equivalent amount of stress before fracturing. Yes, this is true based on ductility. Here, if I use tensile strength, this statement is incorrect. If I use ductility, this is the correct statement. Here, both have 25%. Both steel and titanium has 25% elongation, that means same ductility. Here, same ductility, similar amount of deformation before fracturing. So, A is false, B is correct. Correct option is fourth one. A is false, B is true. Next question. Identify the correct description of formation of metallic bond according to molecular orbital theory. Cohesive energy of lithium atoms hold them together with strong electrostatic force and large the number of electrons. The metal exists in different structures. No, this is incorrect statement because here lithium is not described clearly. In Li4, 4 lithium atoms would combine their atomic orbitals to form 4 molecular orbitals. 2 is bonding and 2 is anti-bonding. This is correct statement. Here, lithium electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1. For Li4, the 4 lithium atoms contribute 4 molecular orbitals. That is, 2 is bonding, another 2 is anti-bonding. Next, the lattice of Li plus ion suspended in gas of delocalized electrons are held together by strong electrostatic force. Here they given the electron C model of metallic bonding but not molecular orbital theory. So this is also incorrect. Here Li4, 4 lithium atoms would combine their atomic orbital form 4 molecular orbitals, 2 bonding and 2 non-bonding. This is incorrect. Here already they given. Here anti-bonding. So absolutely this statement is incorrect. So here correct statement is the second one. Next question. Select the correctly paired statements. Here they given the raw materials and here the role. First here silica. Silica is acidic flux. In blast furnace, limestone decomposes to form CaO, that is basic flux. That is basic. Here, limestone reaction with silica to form slag. So, this is incorrect. Carbon dioxide is effective reducing agent. No. Carbon monoxide is effective reducing agent. Slag, chief component containing calcium silicate used in the cement industry. Yes, it forms the slag. So this is correct statement. Carbon monoxide most effective reducing agent. Yes, this is the correct one. So correct option is third one. Next question, identify the incorrect statement from among the following. At the beginning of the steel making cycle, the converter is kept vertical and 30% pre-weight scrap is added as a change. No, it is kept in tilted or inclined. So this is the incorrect statement. Originally, LD converter used to manufacture steel while oxygen was blown at supersonic velocity through a water-cooled lens onto a molten iron. This is the correct statement. At the beginning of steel making cycle, the converter is kept about 30% pre-weight scrap is added change along with flux forming the material. This is also correct statement. In the beginning of LD, it is basic oxygen. Here it is scrap. Flux is mainly CaO. Then hot metal is changed. Next, what is the last option? Q-bob process was developed wherein oxygen and other gases injected through a tureen in bottom of the vessel for metallurgical advantage in the steel making. Yes, this is improve metallurgical efficiency. So this is also correct statement. So in this question, what is incorrect? So this is the incorrect. First option is the correct one. The next question, arrange the following steps involved in obtaining blister copper in correct order. This is the given statements. So here, see, what is the first one? That is fourth flotation of copper pyrites, CuFeS2, fourth flotation. Next step is, what is the next step? Partial roasting in air. Here, copper pyrites reaction with oxygen to form Cu2s and Fes and 2SO2. Further oxidation produces Cu2O and FeO. So next is the partial roasting in air. After that, add sand and blast air through the mixture. Here FeO and SiO2, it forms slag. FeSiO3, iron is removed as a slag. So next step is liquid slag. After that, finally this one, Cu2s and Cu2O combine to give solid and gas. Cu2s and Cu2O, it gives copper and SO3. This is called as blister copper. So here I am giving the correct order. First concentrate, that is iron pyrite. After that roasting. Next is formation of flux. Here iron is removed as a slag. Next step is remove slag. After that finally it forms the blister copper. So this is the correct order. The next question, select the correct statement from among the following. Bauxite ore is mixed with cryolate for electrolytic extraction of pure aluminium. Here bauxite, it refers to the Bayer's process. It purifies the bauxite before extracting aluminium. So this is the incorrect. Bauxite ore is mixed with cryolite during smelting in the presence of CaF2 for electrolytic extraction of pure aluminium. Here, in the absence of CaF2, not presence of CaF2. Next, bauxite ore is treated with concentrated hydrochloric acid to enable removal of iron oxide as waste before smelting. No, here it uses the sodium hydroxide. This is also incorrect. Bauxite ore is treated with sodium hydroxide solution to enable removal of iron oxide as a waste before smelting. Yes, this is the correct statement. What is the reaction? Al2O3 reaction with sodium hydroxide in the presence of water. It forms the product like this. This is the final product. But Fe2O3 does not dissolve in NaOH. This condition, it remains as a solid residue. This is called the red mud. Okay. So correct option is fourth one is the correct one. Next question. Consider the following statements. Plain carbon steel contains typically 0.03 to 1.2% carbon, 0.251% manganese and some minor impurities. This statement is the correct. Gamma form of Fe3C is a austenite iron, that is 2.08% of carbon. Here gamma iron, that is FCC, face centered cubic. This called austene. Already it is given. Maximum carbon solubility is 2.06. That is why this statement also correct. Cementite is Fe3C and has a soft malleable structure with different crystal structure. No, this is not soft. It is very hard and brittle. So this statement incorrect. Next. Euxoid plain carbon steel is obtained when 0.8% carbon steel is heated slightly above 750 and allowed to cool very slowly to obtain acetate phase. Yes, this is the correct statement. So correct option is option 3. Next question. What does the Asisase code 1040 represent? For ordinary carbon steel, first two digits. It indicates the steel family. Then last two digits approximately indicate the carbon content in hundredths of percent. Here 10 is the plain carbon steel. Next 40 approximately 0.4% carbon. Next manganese is 1040, that means 0.45 to 0.90%. So plain carbon steel with 0.4% of carbon and 0.45% of manganese content. So this is the correct answer. Here plain carbon steel with 0.1%. What is the code here? 1010. So that is why this is wrong. Reinforced carbon steel with 0.4% of carbon and 0.45% of manganese. Here already they given, that is plain carbon, not reinforced carbon steel. High strength corrosion resistant carbon steel with 0.4% of carbon and 0.45% of nickel. One is the first one. Next question. Identify the correct statement from among the following. Chromium in smaller amount affect overall performance and weakens grain boundaries. This is incorrect statement. Why? Chromium add primarily for the corrosion resistant. Next, high corrosion resistant steel can be obtained due to greater than or equal to 12% of chromium. Here Stainless steel contain mainly chromium. When the chromium content is about 12% or more, reaction with oxygen and it form a thin, stable, adherent and protective chromium trioxide. It is passive and prevents the further contact of the steel with oxygen, moisture and act as a corrosive agent. Next, stainless steel is exposed to reducing agent to form corrosion resistant layer. It is not reducing, it is oxidizing. If it is reducing, automatically corrosion will increases. High corrosion resistant steel can be obtained greater than or equal to 12% of cadmium. No, it is chromium. So correct option is second one is the correct one. So this is the end of the today's session. Further questions will continue in next session. Thanks for watching.